Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. So, on July the 1st, 2023, my colleagues here at NerdTube decided to watch the Money in the Bank pay per view. It was it was in London, England. It was at a time which was more amicable for us, 8 o'clock in the evening. Much better for our American colleagues because they're behind us on the clock. So, it was like 2, 3 in the afternoon for them to watch it. Yeah, it was really good fun to watch the pay per view at a time that we can all be awake watching it and not fucking passing out like we usually are when it's at 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK. And whilst watching the pay per view, doing a watch along, the premium live event, we noticed the sponsor, and they are Budlight. And we were laughing our asses off knowing that all these neckbeards will be losing their shit that Bud Light is sponsoring the WWE Money in the Bank pay per view. And I'm now on Twitter to read their grievances. So let's laugh at these motherfuckers, shall we? So, this one sticks out right now. Jeff Kronk. Why in the hell is Bud Light on at WWE? Is WWE going woke? If so, they'll probably loose fans. Yes, they won't lose fans, they will loose fans. They will let them loose. There's an article here on Dylan Mulvaney, having the freedom to be able to sponsor a beer like Bud Light, but they have an issue with that freedom for some bizarre reason. I think it's to do with her being trans. Obviously, it is. But yeah, freedom, baby, freedom. Frankie Ray Aponte wrote, "Oh my god, bro! I watched WWE Money in the Bank, and WWE is sponsored by Bud fucking Light for this and next month's SummerSlam event. This is so great." Because this shit is not going to leave him. A lot of these people who probably end up saying they're going to boycott or not going to boycott, they're going to watch every fucking thing WWE has to offer. They're going to watch SummerSlam next month. And they're going to be really pissed off that Bud Light is sponsoring them. But what you going to do, brother? What you going to do? You're going to do nothing. Aren't they, my son? They are going to do nothing. Now stop making so much noise. Daddy's got some work to do. Alright. Bud Light going hard on WWE sponsorship, yeah. Chuck Norris wrote, "Wow, Vince, you really just had Bud Light advertisement on Money in the Bank. Thought you were better than that." We're talking about Vince McMahon here. Vince McMahon, the guy who's been, who's was actually ousted from WWE for a little while because of the alleged rape scandal. That Vince McMahon, yeah, with all the problems he's had regarding drugs in the past. That Vince McMahon, yeah. And you thought he was better than that, and then when you say better than that, better than what? Making some money from Bud Light, who he probably had a deal with way before Dylan Mulvaney became a household name because of you right wing fucking cucks who put this person into the stratosphere by hating on this person so fucking much. Please, and you think Vince McMahon, you got issue with him? This guy wants to make fucking money, mate. Fucking get your head out your ass. Get rid of Bud Light ads. Let him in, wrote. Well, WWE really pushing Bud Light down our throats. Sound typical of the transgender trend. Mate, you want transgender people down your throat. You probably hate on them during the day and wank on them during the night. Status Dad wrote, "Dear WWE, Bud Light equals mental illness." Oh, that old chestnut. Okay, this name is a bit unusual and a bit long. The BCDDP accepted the 5-minute white boy challenge. Anyway, fuck off with all this advertising bullshit. You don't need the money. You are actively running the show with these Bud Light Mission Impossible advertisements. Stop, WWE. Yeah, well, I guess they're not going to stop because they're going to be taking the money off Bud Light to sponsor SummerSlam next month. What you going to do about that, brother? How many Bud Lights did they drink after? Bye-bye, that makes no sense. Sponsored by Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. Very, very funny, not. WWE and Bud Light, some CEOs will never learn. What, not to make money or make money? I mean, what are you trying to say here when you write something like that? WWE made a blood pact with Michael Cole Life for this Bud Light sponsorship. That is not true. Dizzy Hogan wrote, "With all the Bud Light sponsorship, isn't WWE PG? And how is sponsoring a beer not PG? I mean, you ever watch stuff during the day when it's a PG hour. They're still promoting Bud Light. But yeah, whatever. Stay mad at a beer, like a grown adult. Well said, friend. WWE Money in the Bank in London was fully brought to you by Bud Light, no other sponsors. I bet WWE charged them out of the ass for it. I don't think so. I think they already made an arrangement prior to, once again, Dylan Mulvaney being a household name because of you right-wing cucks being so offended that a trans person was sponsoring a beer. But nevertheless, let me just continue reading your tweet. Tweet even. Oh, you need to remind people that you are working man's beer. Yes, our first quote was 10 million, but after the whole Dylan fuck up, it's 100 million billion dollars. Well, it isn't. You know it isn't. You're trying to make a shit joke about it, but deep down you're upset that WWE are being sponsored by Bud Light, and you have an issue with that, and you think WWE are trying to make money out of that more money out of that than they should have, and I don't think they have, in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, I do think WWE have made a decent amount of money regardless. And Brian Wilson wrote, Bud Light is dying so bad now. They so bad they are now sponsoring WWE Money in the Bank. Once again, this was probably done before Dylan Mulvaney became a household name by you right-wing cucks being so pissed off at her. There's generally no way you're more worried about a beer can than being shown on screen versus the absolute devastation and destruction of LA Knight. Now this is a wrestling fan. This is a proper wrestling fan. I mean, I personally I have no issue regarding LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank or not. I'm not fussed about that personally, but he is, and this is the issue that fucking matters when it comes to wrestling. Not a fucking sponsor like Bud Light. WWE has a Bud Light sponsorship from Super Soakers to beer. It only took 80 years. Don't get that. WrestleMania had no Bud Light ads. Only WWE could be dumb enough to get in bed with them this summer. Well, summertime is a period where people get a bit parched, my friend, and they need to have a little drink or two. Would it be water, soft drinks, or beer? There at WWE, nobody's drinking Bud Light. I would say that's not the case. WWE said fuck the homophobes with the Bud Light sponsors. I don't think that either, though, by the way. On the flip side of things, I just think that, once again, that Bud Light and WWE made this deal way before the Dylan Mulvaney's situation became so blown up as it did. WWE has shown a Bud Light promo and just showed a building lit up in pride colours. Yep. Here's a tweet I wrote. This was a response to this guy. Why is WWE sponsoring Bud Light? Why is WWE sponsoring Bud Light? Well, first of all, Bud Light is sponsoring WWE, so this guy's got it totally wrong. Secondly, it's the money, which is why Bud Light is sponsoring WWE, and WWE are happy to take their money. And finally, the concerns of transphobes and various bigots are irrelevant. Remember that, Jarrett Marshall. If you're a fucking bigot, then it doesn't matter how pissed off you are. It's irrelevant. WWE taking that Bud Light sponsor will come back to bite them. No, it won't. What's going to happen? You're going to get a few neckbeards who's going to be pissed off, and they'll move on quite quickly because there's always a new distraction for you fucking dickheads. Sean Bishop wrote, WWE, how many people are going to boycott your product for having Bud Light as a sponsor? It doesn't bother me because I'm not a beer drinker, but there are going to be people pissed off about you having them as a sponsor. Yes, there will be people pissed off because Bud Light are sponsored the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But boycott? Not one of them. They love watching half-naked, greasy, sweaty men rubbing their bodies up against each other in the middle of a fucking ring. And they wouldn't fucking want to miss that for the world. All those boycotting Bud Light are now going to boycott WWE for having Bud Light as a sponsor for their Money in the Bank. Let me read that again. All those boycotting Bud Light are you now going to boycott WWE for having Bud Light? Yeah, they're not going to boycott. I mean, he's asking the question. And yeah, they're not going to boycott it. Anyway, I want to try and get this under 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed these tweets. You should check them out yourself on Twitter. Have a laugh at these motherfuckers. Mock them. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you ever heard of. And we're also on TikTok. Bye-bye.